All right, guys, I'm here with Caroline Hartley, Daniel Whitaker with the Hartley Whitaker team. So pumped you guys are here. Thanks for coming all this way from Buckhead to Alpharetta. Excited to have you guys and have this conversation. We're going to kick it off. We're going to get right into it. What's the best restaurant in Atlanta and why?
I actually guessed Daniel's because I know him that well.
Wow.
I stand by this one.
Okay.
I'm very adamant on this. But Bacchanalia over on the west side, if you've ever
Really?
heard of it, is
Is that the one with the tiny plates?
the tiny plates.
Okay.
It's like tapas style, but it's so good, and just like the food, the ambiance, the service, it can't be beat. And
Interesting.
yeah, it's so.
What's the minimum you can get out of there for?
Um,
You going on a date?
It's definitely a,
Yeah.
a special occasion.
It's kind of like a prefix menu special occasion type of thing. So like maybe $500 is
Really?
like a good.
Oh man.
But when you go, you gotta be prepared to spend and like blow it out and do the experience right, because
Totally.
it's so worth it, and you'll just feel like high when you're leaving.
So good vibes in there.
My husband, who's a really picky
Phenomenal.
eater, is even like, it's one of his favorite restaurants, which we don't go often, but when we do, he's
Yeah.
like obsessed. But
And you guessed that.
I texted Daniel last night and I said, let me guess, your favorite restaurant is going to be Bacchanalia, and
Yeah.
he said yes.
Yeah.
So you're a frequent visitor.
Maybe like twice a year. Yeah.
Okay, so would you agree?
So I'm going to take it back a little bit. I'm going to say Little Ray.
I love
I
that.
just like Little Ray is such our go-to. I feel like, and now they just opened the one over in North Creek, really
Amazing.
close to Will and I.
Oh yeah.
And I think we eat it at least like twice a week.
It's the best.
It's so good, and the margaritas are good. I
Totally.
mean, you can
Yeah.
get just about like anything there.
Those are two very different
Yes.
Yeah.
answers.
Yes.
Like you're like more laid back, grab and go.
I have a few. I mean, I feel like my restaurants that I like, they change often. I love sushi, so like umi, I feel like is just such a
Yeah.
generic answer, but I don't go there often. Like Little Ray, I'm there at least once or twice a week.
I love that. The frequency makes it better.
Yeah.
Right.
If you're going a lot, I love
Never
that.
get sick of it.
Consistency.
Great vibes, chill.
Yeah,
that.
the half bird that you can get there, it's just basically like what
So
grilled
good.
chicken and it comes with a side of rice and beans. It's like the best bang for your buck.
Wait.
It's like
What is it?
It's called the half bird, and
Okay.
it's literally just smoked chicken.
That's so good. So y'all have just come together and started this real estate team, and y'all are crushing it. And it's so cool to watch and see you guys, just all these people y'all's age, all your friends of friends coming to y'all. Y'all teamed up together. And I think one of the things that I'm always curious about with people under like 40 who have any kind of real estate success is like, if a new agent followed y'all around for a week and just watched you do your jobs, what would be the thing that surprises them the most that actually leads to your success? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think for me, like what would surprise a newer agent about what's giving us so much success right now is just the confidence to answer questions like quickly and accurately in different scenarios, because we get asked random questions throughout the deal process, but also like at cocktail parties and at random events, just like people trying to make conversation. So I think through kind of like experience and then therefore knowledge of just like a lot of scenarios going on, just being through all that has led me to have confidence in answering these questions, like, and knowing that I'm answering them accurately and giving good advice. And that's led to a lot of success, just I think people can feel that confidence and be like, oh, he knows what he's talking about.
I love that.
Yeah.
So kind of like a having knowledge at the most random and opportune times, maybe.
Really, honestly, yeah.
Interesting.
That's, yep.
Like at a cocktail party or whatever. Somebody
Yeah.
asks you a random question.
Yeah,
That's
just
cool.
would encourage
Frankly, it's
those
the
newer agents to go to open houses as much as you can and do as many showings for as many agents as you possibly can, and just being in it will keep you, up to date on knowledge and being able to answer questions
I love that.
are
What do you
weird.
think, Caroline?
I would say one thing people don't realize, I mean, people do realize, but I still have a lot of friends. Like, for example, I just had a baby. They asked me, what are you going to do when you go back to work? Are you going to bring the baby with you, or what's going to happen there? And I have to explain to people, like, I'm in real estate, so I don't work technically a 9-to-5 job.
Right.
A lot of it is going out, seeing people, getting lunch, a lot of social events, things you wouldn't consider your typical work.
Yeah.
I don't think people realize that as much because building relationships in real estate that's how you build your business.
Totally.
So I would say like just trying to put yourself out there, catch up with old friends, calling people. We try to go to as many lunches as possible. I mean,
just like staying,
being very
busy.
social.
Yeah.
Keeping up with people, building those relationships. It's still work. I mean, it's
Totally.
Yeah.
and I don't think a lot of people realize that. So, yeah. So when my friends ask me like, okay, what are you gonna do with the baby? I'm gonna bring the baby, I guess, to these lunches and
Where's
stuff.
the baby now?
With her dad. Until he goes back to work next week. But like, I mean, that's another thing about real estate. Like, it's so flexible and nice. I'm totally getting off topic now.
No,
with
this is great.
But,
Yeah.
it's nice to have the flexibility too with my daughter now because my husband, he works a 9-to-5, so he's on paternity leave. Goes back next week. I get asked all the time, like, when's your maternity leave up? And I'm like, I don't get maternity leave. But, I mean, you've got your pros and cons to that because then, you know, with the flexibility that comes with real estate later on, I still can, you know, be a mom and handle my daughter, but
Totally.
not have to go in the office from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think a lot of people sometimes realize that. Some people do, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was trying to explain this to my wife, like my job, it just like she comes from Deloitte, and it just like broke her
Right.
brain.
Yeah.
But
She was
my
like, "Wait."
husband works at Home Depot, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's very like corporate and you know,
Right.
black and white. Whereas like real estate, you're kind of. I mean, I was 1 week postpartum, still negotiating a deal. Like it's just.
You didn't pass it to your teammate.
I did. Daniel, and let me.
I'm happy to take
let
it, but
me-
she likes to be
let
in
me
the know.
brag
You know,
on
Yeah.
like-
Daniel really quick.
Yeah.
He has been phenomenal the last 6 weeks while I've been
Yeah.
freshly postpartum.
Yeah.
So he's been great, and this is
Way to
why
go.
we are a team
There
because.
you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that kind of comes with like my real estate personality. Is I also was like, no, let me handle it. Like I was like, I really just want to be in it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I love
Which
that.
I get that.
again,
Yeah.
like I can turn it off if I want to, and I can get back in it as quick as I want to also. So
I love that.
But yeah,
I have a guy that works for me who lives down in Savannah. His name's Austin.
Mm-hmm.
He's like the new Bender, and he's kind of growing his business. And we were talking about exactly what you guys are talking about. And I was like, man, you need to think about this from how many people you meet in a week, and you should track it from a points perspective.
Right.
So any random person's 1
Yes.
point,
Yeah.
someone in the industry is 5 points,
I mean,
and try and
yeah.
get 15 every week.
Right.
You know, and now his business has started to grow.
Right.
Because he's just out. You know, the whole purpose
Yeah.
is just getting out.
and like I mean, you never know who you're gonna meet at a wedding or like an engagement party or just
Totally.
you have to put yourself out there and you know just because you're not talking about business doesn't mean it isn't business.
Right.
100%.
You're meeting
Right.
someone new and you know you could throw in that you're a real estate agent.
Yeah, I
or-
mean, that was kind of also my backup answer to that question was just like, it probably surprised somebody that's getting into this just how much you are like tracking stuff and systems and meetings and mailers and like lunches and dinners and handshakes. And it's just like, you really are just like still being authentic, but tracking everything as you go too, to just be like, am I, you know, staying on top of my game or am I
or
falling
if you're,
behind?
I mean, even when after we close a deal, just having our operations in place where
Right.
like we're keeping up with those people that we sold to like
Right.
a year or two ago, you know, checking
Yeah.
in on them. Just because the deal's over, I don't want them,
Yeah.
you know, our clients to think like, okay, you know, this deal's over, so we're gonna never talk to you again.
Yeah.
Because some of these people we become pretty close with, and
Right.
I have clients all the time be like, this makes me sad that we're not gonna talk every day, and I'm like, we can still
Yeah.
talk every day.
Yeah, you can still
like,
text, yeah.
Here's a good question, actually. This kind of just hit me. Can someone who's like introverted have success in real estate? Y'all aren't introverted.
I
we're
think
not
there's a
We're not
market.
introverts.
I do think they can, because I think that there's a market for every type of agent. I do.
Okay.
I think there's a market for the shyer agent. I think there's a market for like the crazier agent. I feel like there's a market for, you know, a social agent like us. I just think there's plenty of business out there for everybody to
Sure.
grab, and it's not, as competitive as you can sometimes make it feel in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's probably better to be extroverted
Yeah.
because you want to.
We
it's a
found success
lot-
in that,
we
but that
found-
comes
Yeah.
natural to us.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, we
Right.
we naturally are we like people and like to be around people, but I still definitely think an introvert could find a market and find
Do
success.
something.
Yeah,
I
without
love
a
that.
doubt.
Let's pivot. Here's the question. Is Buckhead a safe place to be right now? Or is that, what do you think?
I mean, we both live in Buckhead. We both grew up in Buckhead.
Yep.
I think that with the media now, I think it kind of blows, situations out of
Yeah,
proportion.
Totally.
But we also live in a big city. I feel like in any big city, there's going to be situations. But growing up, I really never felt unsafe. And
Right.
ATL Scoop, I feel like
Yeah.
now having that. We didn't have that in high school.
I know. Now you hear more about the stuff
Right.
that's going on.
Right.
And I think that does perpetuate this feeling of unsafeness. But I think if you kind of look at crime by zip code, you can see that 30327 is definitely one of the lowest violent crime areas. I just think maybe you hear more about a robbery in Buckhead versus like a shooting in the hood. Like I
Yep.
think people are going to just be more inclined to click on that.
Right.
And
That's
so
more interesting.
It's more interesting, and
Yep.
so you it can maybe seem that way, but I definitely think Buckhead is a lovely, safe area to
So like if
live.
a customer asked you guys, is Buckhead safe?
I would say I live in Buckhead and I don't have any problems personally. I go about my daily life and
I would say here are the resources for you to look yourself.
Daniel
and
had, yeah.
you can make your own decision, but I have lived here and I have
Right,
loved it.
I wouldn't, right. No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like we can't say yes or no, but
Yeah.
Like legally, we can't say yes or no.
But
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say I live in Buckhead and I don't have any problem. Like,
Yeah.
because I don't. I'm a resident, a Buckhead resident, and I personally have never had an issue. But
So on that same note, okay, so Virginia Highlands area and Buckhead now are like the two hottest places to buy a house. Like it's so
Yeah.
difficult to get in there for a decent price point.
It
feels
is. It is.
And so like I think my question to y'all as realtors who do a lot in that area, in those two areas, is like are people buying, like are people actually getting what they pay for these houses? Or are they just paying for the area? Or like the zip code?
both.
I think a lot of it is you're paying for the location, and that is kind of a lot of what house shopping is it's like you can do a lot to a house, but you can't change the location. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, you are paying to be in Virginia Highlands and have that experience and that location, and you may be able to get a bigger house for less money outside of there, but that's the give and take, So I hate to say.
I think for Virginia Highland too, like people are paying for like the walkability and
Right.
Yes.
Right. And same with
The
Buckhead. The schools too. Like
atmosphere.
people are very strict on school districts and stuff like that down
Pe-
there. But
Do you think the values in Virginia Highlands are worth what people get, the experiences they get to live? Do you think it's worth what they pay?
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would you say the same about Buckhead?
Yes.
I think like people too in Buckhead, certain areas attract people. Like say if you like have a younger family and people are looking for that like community and connection, but also like great school district, you're paying for that
Yep.
a lot of the time. But I mean,
Because the
houses are
flip
great,
side is
too.
like some people would say that should be a basic necessity. Like that should be something that you get no matter kind of where you
Right.
go. So it's like I think with the Virginia Highlands, I get it, the walkability, all the shops, the
Yeah.
parks, you're inside. But then you get into Buckhead a little bit, and it almost feels like it almost feels a little bit like you're not getting the same experience as you would in Virginia Highlands, but you're still paying as much.
Yeah, I think that's it's all the client's preference, the buyer's preference
Totally.
on what they're looking for. And so, yeah, maybe when people are moving into Buckhead, they're looking for maybe not necessarily I want to be right on the Beltline, but like you do have parks like Chastain Park and Bobby Jones and all
True.
these new restaurants and like golf courses.
Proximity to work.
Proximity to work,
Yep.
proximity to country clubs that a lot of these people are members of. You know, that's what they're paying for.
Yeah.
You know, is
I
definitely
think too, like
location.
community, like for me personally, the neighborhood I moved into, the reason why I wanted to live there was
Which is where?
Wildwood
Okay, yeah.
was elementary school district. So I live like a mile down the street from Morse Brandon, which I grew up
Great.
going to. So I knew like eventually I wanted to send my kid there. Having a community, like we have a neighborhood email, we have events, we have a park. I mean, security, that kind of stuff was really important to me too.
Yeah.
That's huge.
And just being like, yeah, like a social neighborhood, like Halloween is really big. Having that kind of, you know, community, I think is important, especially living in such a big city.
100%.
I had friends who grew up like in these houses that now are around me. Obviously the owners have changed over time, but like, it's just crazy to think like, okay, when I was little, I was going over to, you know, my best friend's house who lived 4 houses down, but now it's a new family with new kids, and that was really important.
Last question before we kind of get into the final deal here. What's the next neighborhood that's like, this is the place to be?
That's a great question. I'm kind of leaning into like Reynoldstown, Kirkwood, Edgewood area.
Okay.
I mean, it does already feel like, oh, this has already been built up already. But no, I
Right.
think there's so much opportunity there and there's so much growth in those areas that it's like, I think you could find some really good spots to buy and fix up and make some money and live a perfectly great life while you're there doing it. You know,
Totally.
there's so much to do down there and the community is really fun. So I definitely think those areas
I
are
love that.
Okay, so the west side over where like
Powell Mill.
Bacchanalia.
Bacchanalia.
Yeah.
I think the Works has really changed that entire area, like over by Bolton Road.
Yes.
I think that area is just going great. And Bolton Academy is Bolton Academy is a great elementary school. I think that entire area is just completely
Absolutely.
booming. I used to do gymnastics over at Buckhead Gymnastics over there, and it's nothing like it was.
Used to be like the middle of nowhere.
Right. There
Yeah.
was like not a lot of developments around there.
I think those are the good. You could get in for a reasonable price now and then make good equity and returns on when you go to sell later, like in a couple years. But where we do definitely see the most returns, at least for the amount of time we've been in real estate, is in these hard to get in neighborhoods in Virginia Highlands, Ansley Park, Buckhead.
Those have the most return.
That's, I think, where we're seeing the most like value is increasing, you know?
Still.
Yeah.
There's not-
Like when we got in, you could get a house in Peachtree Hills for like $650
Or
or
like
$700.
$850 was like the sweet
$850 was
spot.
getting
and,
in.
and we had someone ask us a few months ago, like,
Where are the $850
where are
houses?
the 850 houses?
And
And
What
we're
is
like,
it now?
It's like
$1 million
A million.
to get a
To get into
32.
Peachtree Hills? Like a little bungalow?
There
2-1?
because people
Without
want
having to
be
do any
in
work.
The neighborhood.
Yeah. If you want turnkey. in Peachtree
It's also
Hills.
competitive. We're still seeing multiple buyer situations. We're still seeing, you know, a
Yeah.
lot of crazy
Competitive
offers, all
situations.
cash,
Yes.
as is. I mean, it's competitive, but it's to get into the neighborhood.